Hey guys, it's time for a studio update. I've got some cool stuff for you to take a look at. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. This is the Middenheim prototype for the ruined buildings. Now, these were the old ones that I had done originally. After looking at Middenheim rules and terrain that people have built for it, I wasn't really happy with these. Now these are still very usable because the client is also going to be using this for Warhammer Fantasy, because these are good line of sight blockers. They're large. Let me put this Warrior of Chaos right next to it, so they're big. These will be very good for Warhammer Fantasy, and for Middenheim they could be useful just as a big line of sight blocker. So let's take a look at what I've done here. First, you can see this is a multi-tier building, and these, since this is built for Middenheim, these are big enough for both your small and your large infantry. When I say large, I mean the 20 mil bases and the 25 mil bases. Since I doubt that the people of Middenheim would. Because that's what this is based off of. This is the Middenheim set. I doubt that they would have taken into account possessed or ogres or whatever other huge monsters you have in the Warhammer Fantasy world. So from a realism standpoint, that's where that stands. One thing also is Viv from Knights of Dice did a little video a while back where he liked to do the ceiling work underneath. So I kind of did the same thing here. You can see I put the wooden braces for like the not girders, planks. No, my brain's not working. It's like 5:30 in the morning. But you can see where I've done that. I've put the detail work under there. You can also see the rock work back there, which I'll flip it around and show you in a minute. Here's the other thing. This is actually my first time using the foam core, like just the thin stuff, which is this stuff here. These are just Elmer boards, which I've been looking into how to use effectively. I'd always been kind of wary about it because I didn't know if it would hold up. As well as the pink foam, but it actually ends up turning out pretty nicely. So that's going to be added into my arsenal of tools. Now this is where it got a little time consuming. I've gone through and I have done all of the doorways, all of the braces. I've just tried to make this look as Victorian as possible. Now it may not look purely Victorian, but when I think Middenheim, like Gothic structures, sort of like a Victorian Gothic era, is what I was aiming for. Now, one thing I did do is I'm keeping this theme of the plaster cloth, like just the cloth overhangings, because these are ruins. So the idea I have is that, there are people that have been living in these ruins from time to time, but they can't exactly take all the time to repair the whole building. So rather than building up big shingled areas, they just throw these cloths over top of things, which this stuff is actually pretty nice, and it'll turn out pretty cool too. So let's do a little bit of a 360 of the other side here. You can see the windows are they're lined with these woodsies, is what they are. They're like these wood craft sticks. They come in various sizes. I've got several different packs of them, like jumbos, regulars. And then got these thin ones that I use for doorway planks. But what I did is I first started with this base of cobblestone work that matches all the other cobblestone work I've done. And then I added the foam core. I just cut it to size, and then I cut the windows and the doors. Once I put that in place, I built up the second floor area, and then I aligned that with the planking, and then I also built up the stairwell. Once I got all that in place, I also put in all the bracing, and then the really fun part was the stucco. The stucco effect is actually it's just this all-purpose spackle paste, which I then used various shaped woodsies to apply. And then this is just a 67-cent foam brush from Home depot. And what I did is I used it to like press against it. Now you can't do it when you immediately put it on, you got to let it sit for a bit. But I did that, and I also used this tip, which I tore it off to make it a little smaller, to be able to like get into the crevices and everything. Now you can see there's still some of it on these areas, but I've like wiped it away or scraped it down to where once it gets painted, you won't even be able to notice those. Once I did all that, also here's the other thing. When I put the foam core in, is really difficult to make it match perfectly to this, because cutting foam core to match the various smooth areas of this cobblestone is very difficult. So what I end up doing is I actually end up just filling it with the spackle. So the spackle is also served as a gap filler for some of the areas, especially like right here. You can't even see the connection point. That is the connection point where the two pieces of foam core come together. Once this gets painted up, you won't even be able to tell. So it's helping to smooth out some of the things. So let's take a look-see in here and see if we can't get a little bit of a... See, like back there in the very back corner? Oh yeah, also check this out. This is random, but this little guy scared the crap out of me earlier tonight. This big old dragonfly is just hanging out there. I honestly think he's dying. But yeah, he flew in here earlier because you know, I have the garage door open because it's very cool out tonight and it was raining earlier and it felt good. But he flew in, and I'm sitting there. I'm working on this part of the cobblestone, like this piece, and I'm just sitting there. I've got my mask on. I've got my my safety glasses down, and all of a sudden I see this big dragonfly with his tail like looking like a scorpion just fly like right into my face. I ran out of the garage not knowing what was going on. It was a moment of what the hell. So, but as you can see, I've gone through and done the same spackle effect to the old buildings as well. I really wasn't happy with the cutouts that I had done for these, so this has made them look a million times better, because it makes them look worn down and run down and just generally not very well taken care of. And you can see I've done all 4 of them this way now, which means I also finished up the 4th one that wasn't quite done. I've also applied all their roofing as well. And it's going to end up looking really cool and dynamic once the whole set gets done this way. I've still got a couple more of the broken buildings to do, and I've also got a mansion that I'm going to be doing up for the set. So let me show you how many more of these base sizes I've got. So I've got 3 more broken buildings, or actually 4 more broken buildings, I think. This is just all the plaster cloth. Yep, 4 more broken buildings that I'll be building for this. And then the big mansion, which will also be in this style, but it'll be a 3-level instead of just a 2-level like all the others. Another thing that's going to happen, a lot of them are going to have these little areas right here where you don't have anything in the way, because they're going to build some walkways that can help connect them. They're going to probably be at least a foot long for the most part, maybe some varied lengths to those. So that way when you place them down next to each other, you can place a walkway here, a walkway there, and you'll be able to get around for your Middenheim games. A lot of stairways are also going to be incorporated into the set. Just because Middenheim, it really plays to it very well. On this area over here, we're almost done with the casting run. I've only got a handful more casts to do. The big thing with it is I've been making sure to do these 2 new methods that I got for making the casting more smooth. And not all of them are still coming out perfectly. Like we've got this one where the little holes on top of that are going on, but if you just look over this, these are the most recent casts I've done, and a lot more of them are coming out better. Also, there's a little tip. Viv from Knights of Dice, he told me to use plastic bag liners, and it is the most genius thing. Like, see, watch this. See, it doesn't have anything to stick to. because even if it does stick on it, you just pull the liner up, and yeah, it just that one's still a little wet. But yeah, it making my life so much easier. That's what that's doing right there. There's a bug getting in there. So that's your studio update for the day. Or night, depending on when you're watching this. I pretty much live sort of a vampire existence these days. I've always been a night owl. So I will get another update probably by Tuesday, I'd say. That's about when you all will see the video go up, probably, because these videos do take a little while to process when you're doing it at like the 1080p. Or I think I do it at 720, but 720 still takes a while to process and then upload. But yeah, I'll have all the remaining completed broken houses built for this, and I should have all the rest of the casting runs done.